What is up, everybody? We are back for another edition of the PGA DFS model breakdown. Whether you are a premium member or just watching on YouTube, appreciate you joining me each and every week. We're here to break down the American Express. Before we do, let's quickly recap the Stony Open. Had my best golf week in quite some time. Didn't quite beat the tournament, but took fourth in the big $20 GPP. Nice little 15K. Hoping to keep that going this week. We've been close on the outrights. We just got to get one across the finish line. I have 4 outrights for you this week. I'll give those to you at the end of the video. Let's talk about the event. So this week, 156 golfers in the field. It's going to be played over 3 different courses. And this is a Pro-Am event, so you're going to be having some very slow golf. It's going to require a lot of patience on the end of the golfers playing with these amateurs. And since there are 3 courses in play, golfers will play each course on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the cut will be made after the 3rd round. So we're not going to have a cut on top of the 54 holes, which means all golfers are guaranteed to play 3 rounds. It kind of lessens the importance of 6-6 in cash games and in small field tournaments, but you're still going to want 6-6, obviously, if you can. And obviously, in large field tournaments, you're going to need 6-6 to have a chance to win them. The course is P-Dye Stadium course is going to be the host course. So it's going to host one of the first 3 rounds and then the final round as well. It is, I guess I would say, the most difficult of the bunch, but all 3 of these courses are very easy. It features POA Tribolith overseed. So I do have that putting metrics in the model this week. Not weighing it too heavily, but certainly something to look at. I also have some other metrics that we'll talk about. And then the other 2 courses, pretty similar. One has Bermuda grass, one has POA Tribolith overseed. All 3 courses, par 72s. All 3 courses measure less than 7,300 yards. All 3 courses in the top 10 in terms of the easiest courses on the PGA Tour. So it's going to be a birdie fest. The winning score is probably going to be at least 2,500 par. Similar to what we saw at the Century, although, much different format with 3 courses. And, these courses are much more flat than Kapalua was. So let's talk about the model for the week. So I have off the tee weighted 7%. Again, I do think this is a decent week to weigh off the tee a little bit more than you usually would. You can bomb it here. The rough isn't penal, largely because the amateurs are playing, so they're going to cut down the rough. The pin placements aren't going to be too difficult. So it might be a week where driving is a little bit more important than approach. I still have approach weighted more, but again, so 7% off the tee, 3% total driving, a total of 11% strokes gained approach. As I did last week, we do have the strokes gained expected column, and this takes a look at how many approach shots each golfer is expected to hit in each yardage bucket, and then compares that to their actual strokes gained in those buckets to come up with this metric. It's a little thing that I calculate on my own thanks to the data provided at Data Golf. Tom Hoagie, number 1, JT, number 2, Tom Kim, 3, Siwoo Kim, 4, Kurt Kitayama, 5. Now, I will note that this is only for the P-Dye course, so it only takes into account 2 of the potential 4 rounds. So if you want to bump this down a little bit this week, I don't mind it. Strokes gained around the green. These greens should be pretty easy to hit, but I put it at 3% anyway. Strokes gained putting, I put it at 10%. Again, birdie fest typically turn into putting contests. 6% to birdie or better rate, 3% to bogey avoidance. Course history, I have it at 4%. You can bump this up if you want, just because it does take some patience to be able to play these type of events well. So it's more of like experience in Pro-Ams than it is necessarily course history. Data Golf has the course history rating really low here, so it's not all that important year in and year out. So I put it at 4%. We have stroke gained in California. This is over the last 3 years. Yeah, Zalatoris, Cantlay, Keith Mitchell, Tom Hoagie, Jason Day rounding out the top 5. Strokes gained on very easy courses. These 2 filters here are thanks to the rabbit hole of BetSperts. If you want to sign up for that, we do have a link if you want to try it out. It's my favorite stat engine by far. Poston, Eric Cole, Sung J M, Ben Griffin, Sam Burns. Hope a lot of you played Eric Cole with me last week. Again, anytime you get him on easy courses, you just play him. You automatically play him. You don't think about it, even if he's not in great form. He's 52nd out of like 70 guys at the Century, but bounced back with the 5th place finish last week. Ton of birdies too. I think he was 3 over on his front 9 at one point on Sunday. Ended up making like 4 or 5 birdies in a row. Was on my winning team. So appreciate you, Eric Cole. And he's going to be on my outright card this week as well. Then we have the form as always. So you have the top 5% finish, top 10% finish, top 25% finish. This is how often they finish in that percentile for each tournament. So this isn't just top 5 finishes because somebody that's playing in a field of 70 golfers, the top 5 isn't as meaningful as it is in a field of 156 golfers. So this is how often they finish in the top 5% of the field that they're playing in. I have those each weighted at 5%. And then we just have the raw strokes gain data over short term, midterm, long term. I have those at 5%. Field strength index at 11% because we do have a lot of golfers that play in a lot of weak fields. So I wanted to, help normalize the data a little bit with the field strength index. It just shows how the quality of the fields that they're playing in. So Hadwin surprisingly has played in the best fields. Then Griot, then Siwoo Kim, then Ricky Fowler, then Poston, guys that don't play in the best fields. Duffner, Harry Higgs, been playing a lot on the Korn Ferry Tour, just some of these guys down here. So let's take a look at the overall rankings. We'll talk about some of the field, and then we will get out of here. At the very top, we have Sungjae Im. Again, Xander Schauffele did withdraw, so naturally we're going to have softer pricing than we would if we would have withdrawn before the pricing came out. Sungjae is the overwhelming favorite at 12-1. He would probably be 11,000 if Xander would have withdrawn before the pricing came out. So I love the idea of starting with 2 of these top 4 in most lineups. My favorite 2 are Sungjae and JT. So Sungjae, he's been a top 12 machine over the last 6 months. It's been like a 70% clip, something like that. Look at this course history: 10th, 12th, 11th, 18th, 25th. Great on easy courses. Easily my favorite play of the week. And then Justin Thomas, he's been playing well. 3rd at the Hero, 26th at the Century, 3rd here last year. Good track record in California as well. But certainly no issue with Sam Burns. He's a guy that can light it up on the greens. Tony Finau always plays well out west and in California. So if you want to look his way, you certainly can. He was 15th in his first start back. Can't remember what injury he was dealing with, but he missed quite some time with that injury. A distant 5th for me is going to be Wyndham Clark, coming in with back-to-back top 20 finishes, but one of these was at the Hero, so that is not a great finish since there were only like 18 golfers in that field. But I did bet Wyndham Clark just because, look, I mean, he's fit in my model, and his outright odds are way bigger than everyone else up here. So I like Sungjae Im the best, but I mean, almost 2.5 the odds. I think he's at 30-1 now of Sungjae. I would rather just take that. He's won 3 times over the last couple of years. Sungjae Im's only won twice in his career on the PGA Tour. So when it comes to the outright market, I do prefer the 33-1 on Wyndham Clark. When it comes to DFS, give me all of the Sungjae Im. Moving down, Cantlay just hasn't been great. I mean, he does always play well in California, so if you want to play that, you certainly can. 15th at the Century, not too bad. Davis Thompson missed the cut last week, but he's been really good at this event in the past. I think he's a good bounce-back candidate. Each and every week, Ben Griffin rates out well for me. I bet him outright last week, and I was feeling real good about that. After the first 12 holes, I think he was 7 under par, a couple shots clear of everyone else in the field. Obviously, fell back there over the last 3.5 rounds, but playing on easy courses, similar to Eric Cole. He's a really good putter, really good on approach. He's been good at this event the last 2 years. So love Griffin at 7,800. Number 8 in the model stands out as an extremely good value play. Grazerman, he's been solid. No issue with him whatsoever. Did make the cut here last year. So he's kind of seeing these courses for the second time, which is always a positive in my mind. When these rookies come out, they're at a disadvantage because they're seeing all these courses for the very first time. Now that they're seeing them again, they'll feel a little bit more comfort. Siwoo Kim, always playing at this event. He's not necessarily cheap at 9,100, but I do still like him a lot this week and be one of my highest owned golfers in my MME builds. Bo Hosser, I don't have a strong take on him. He projects very well for me. He hasn't played in a couple months. Doesn't have the best course history, but he's been good in California, been good on easy courses. So I'll probably play some Hostler, especially if he's going to be low owned. I'll play some Cam Young. Again, good on easy courses, good in California, and a couple weeks ago, 8th at the Century. So maybe he can have the breakout year they were expecting last year. I'll get back on Poston as well. Did lose stroke on approach last week and was the final piece of my 6-man made cut parlay that missed. That was a little brutal. He ended up bogeying his 17th hole and then missing the cut by 1. So that was a little frustrating. I do like Keith Mitchell. Finally made the cut after 4 straight missed cuts in the fall. T30 last week, couple good finishes here. He's just going to devour the par 5s. Again, Eric Cole playing in all the birdie fests. I bet Eric Cole as well. I guess I'll mention all my bets. So I have Wyndham Clark at 30 to 1. I have Ben Griffin at 60 to 1. I have Eric Cole at 55 to 1. And I have Keith Mitchell at 90 to 1. Those are going to be my 4 outrights this week. If you want to join me, please do. And we will recap those bets next week. Hopefully, talk about a winner. Tom Kim let me down. Was almost one of the worst guys that made the cut last week. I think he finished 65th. Horschel rates out well for me, but not a guy that I necessarily love on easy courses. Hasn't played great here, so I probably won't play a ton of him. Man, JJ Spawn really hooked me up. I had Nick Taylor on my winning lineup last week, and Spawn bogeyed the 17th and then parred the 18th to miss out on the playoff, while Nick Taylor chipped in an eagle on 18 to get into the playoff, and then ended up winning it against Nico Echeverria. So that was awesome. You remember the bad breaks more than the good ones, but I will always remember that run out there. The Sony. You have Glover and Gim. Guys that always project well for me. I prefer Glover over Gim a little bit. He's in a little bit better form. Fishburne's a guy that can make a ton of birdies. He was a BYU guy, so he tends to play well out west. Don't mind looking at him in tournaments. Kitayama, T37 last week, one of the better ball strikers in the field, but he's only played here once in the last 5 years and was almost dead last. Not sure what to do with that. I do like Straka a little bit. I do like Vegas, an elite ball striker. Meissner's a guy that I don't mind looking to. He's been playing some good golf in the fall. T21 last week. Seabed is just always a guy that plays well when it comes to these birdie fests. So 11th and 2nd here the last couple of years. He actually got credit for the win in terms of the FedEx Cup points because Dunlap was an amateur, so he didn't get any of the points. So Seabed's got all the points. Kind of a funny story, but Seabed's always an easy guy to root for. I'll play some of him. Just want to see if there's anyone else. I do like Justin Lower. I still don't know if it's Lower or Lauer. I need to figure that out. But coming off of 2 recent top fives, T37 last week, and then made the cut here each of the last 2 years. So that'll do it for this week. Oh, Alex Molly, I wanted to bring up him as well. 3 straight top 25s here, coming off of a T16. His stats look pretty good over the last 6 months or so. So I'll play some Smalley as well. So that'll do it. Appreciate you guys joining me as always. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button. That'll help me a lot. And leave a comment. If you have any questions, let me know. Join the RG Discord if you want to talk some golf each and every week. And yeah, good luck. We'll see you back here next week.